approaching the blacksmith's shop.
So sword making. Don't have to really make too many swords as a blacksmith. Just need to a bit of a bend as I'm thinning out this side here for the blade edge. We're pulling metal sideways, but some of it moves long ways, and so this puts a kind of banana shape into the blade. And the design for this blade is to be kind of perfectly straight, so kind of as in the picture here. So just going back over the piece now at the end of the day, just trying to get that really straight. What happens though is the blade edge then buckles as you're stretching the spine. The blade is in compression, and that will warp to take up the difference. So to make the metal hot enough, you have to heat it in the fire, and we have the bellows to make this fire extra hot. That's pushing air into the fire. It's the extra air, oxygen in the air. It's what really makes this fire very special, twice as hot as a normal fire. So this kind of setup for blacksmithing could really date from any point from the medieval time onwards. The earliest kind of woodcuts and bellows were around that time. This kind of building could easily be that kind of age, although it was only purpose built in the 90s. I worked in a 400-year-old forge as an apprentice, the same design as building as this. So we like to be in the dark to work because we're best viewing the temperature of the metal in the dark. Getting better. So the blade is also over to one side of it at the moment. It's still over to one side. We might be doing that in the vise to push that over to the other to get it into the middle. So in this dark room, we can kind of still see a little bit of bend in there. See that kind of dull red glow, that's about 500 degrees. Nearer the light, even in the afternoon, dull now, it looks a lot greyer and colder than it will do when we're in the dark. So we get a better thing, very hot piece of metal, too cold for blacksmithing at that point. So